of all the guys that you have at your position, how does that help you? How does it help the guys in total kind of learn their identities?
Yeah, man, I think, how does the competition help me? Well, I think it's easy to get complacent at anywhere you are. And, having that kind of dog chasing you behind, on your heels chasing you, just reminding you, like, like you're not there yet. That's huge, because even if in a scenario where there's, like, let's say there's no competition in the room, there's still competition around the country. You're fighting to be the best linebacker in the country. And it's easy to forget that when you don't have someone in the room remind you. So when you have that in the room, it's like, all right, let me try and beat this guy first, and then worry about everyone else. And that keeps us going, keeps me going. Like I said, Chaney's been huge in that aspect, and all the guys have been too.
The top 4, top 5 kind of got their first snaps last year of consistent playing time. Just what do you feel is the difference this year? Do you guys feel more comfortable, more mature? I don't know what you would say.
The difference this year in terms of
just how you feel, just if it's more comfortable.
Yeah, I feel more comfortable. I mean, more experience too. I think when you haven't started or really played, like I hadn't had any major snaps in games that mattered last year, and so I think what happens is you don't really understand what it takes. Like, you'll have coaches tell you, like, oh, make sure you shift to this alignment versus this motion, or make sure you're in this gap versus this play. And it's like, oh, coach is just saying that. And then you get out there and let's say you don't bump into that alignment and you miss an interception. Or you're slightly off in the gap that you're supposed to be in, and like running back cuts it up for a touchdown. You learn those lessons, like, oh shit, like this, the little things like actually matter. And so now, having gone through a whole year of just like ups, downs, ins, outs, like really understanding what it takes, gives me a personal edge, and then something that I can try and impart on younger guys. Like, hey, I know it feels like this is enough, but what you're doing actually isn't going to cut it. Or, hey, what you're doing is in fact going to cut it. You need to keep doing that, like raising the standard. So that's, I think, been the biggest thing, because it gives me a confidence, and then it gives me like okay, how do I evaluate myself?
Kind of going off that, would you say you guys are able to play faster, or you're able to play faster so far?
I definitely think I've been playing faster. I think there's an aspect of still learning the defense. And, it's early, but I've been a lot more confident.
Recognize that there's a sort of history here with defense and with new coaching staff coming in. A lot of them have talked about upholding those traditions across country, also having a whole other mix. And how do you see maybe trust or do that with you guys, or just having the coaching staff
Well, I think what I really like is, because honestly their job right now is like building culture, and I really like how they've approached that. It's really been interesting, like watching how they build culture. I think I could speak on a bunch of things, but one just little thing that seems little but goes a long way is like we don't call inside run anymore. It's like pride play, because we take pride in what we do in the box. We have like the pillars of Badger defense. And that we have like these phrases that's like, okay, this is what we're built on. This is what we believe in. It's been really cool, because I think sometimes you have culture. It's like everyone kind of has a ambiguous, touchy-feely understanding of what culture is, but these guys have like defined it. This is what we are, and then it's super easy to be like, hey, you're not, what you did wasn't the standard. It's super easy to call people out, hold them accountable at the end of the day, and then ultimately uplift the standard. So that's been really cool. I mean, there's a bunch I can speak on that jumps out at me.
For the inside linebacker group, there's been a lot of production, especially since Jim took over as a